Idaho Falls Pediatrics, proudly supporting kids in our community, and 7 Questions with Emmy.
Hey guys, welcome back to 7 Questions with Emmy. Today I'm here at Madame Tussauds talking with Kim Schrader. She is the regional studio manager for Madame Tussauds. Hi Kim.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Who do we have right here?
Well, this is the wonderfully funny and talented Tiffany Haddish.
Question number 1. On average, how long does it take to make one wax figure at Madame Tussauds?
So it could take anywhere from 4 to 6 months. It just depends on the complexity of the figure. So, if they're doing something like swinging or jumping, those are more dynamic figures that take a lot longer to make. If they have a lot of tattoos, that also takes a long time to paint every detail in the tattoo. If they have a very complicated hairstyle, like say Amy Winehouse, which has a very big beehive, that took a while to do. Chewbacca from Star Wars, we inserted all the hair on that big figure. so those kind of figures take a while.
Okay, so who are we with now?
We are with Whoopi Goldberg. She's in her Sister Act costume.
Okay, who has been some of your most challenging figures to make?
Well, like I said before, the ones that are jumping, like say Jason Derulo, he's actually in mid-jump with his figure, so it was a lot of complicated, figuring out how to keep him up in the air. Jeremy Lin is doing a basket, he's like at the hoop in San Francisco. We have some gymnasts that are doing handstands on balance beams. So Pink is suspended in the air. So those are some very challenging figures to make. But we've also have some figures that include robotics. So we have a boxer in Europe. His name is Rico, and his eyes actually follow you when you walk around the room.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So Kim, who do we have here?
We have Dwayne Johnson. So here's Dwayne Johnson in front of his Terramana bar. We also have a Dwayne Johnson in New York, one in Orlando where he's scaling down from a building, and then we have one in Hollywood. Yes.
Okay, can you tell me about your interesting childhood and how you came to the U.S.?
Well, my childhood was rather unusual, probably more than most. So I was born in Laos. The Vietnam War had just ended, so there was a lot of turmoil in the region. So my family and I fled Laos to Thailand, where we lived there for over 2 years, and then eventually made our way to the States. When I was a little girl, when we were settled down in Missouri, when I was a little girl, my dad is an artist, and he would have art classes where he would teach portrait art in our house. And I was a little too young to be formally a part of the class, but I would draw along with them. So, they were way more skilled than I was, so they would have their class and I would sit there and do my little drawing, and my dad would come and critique my work. So art has always been a part of my life.
So Kim, who are we with now?
This is Steve Aoki. He actually lives in Vegas. He's a famous DJ.
So did he come here to get his picture done?
We did what we call a sitting. So that's when we have an event where we go with the celebrities, we meet with them and take lots of photos. We do their measurements. I draw dots on their faces where we measure from. And
he's like red spots on his arm though.
I think that's part of the paint job. So, to make it look more realistic like skin. This is actually his donated outfit that he gave us. We had so much fun at his sitting. He was a hoot. He loved every minute of it. I hope he did. But we certainly had a lot of fun.
Question number 4, how did you end up working at your current job?
So, back in the day, before we had, you can go online and look for job postings. When I was at the university, in the College of Fine Art department, there was a job posting on our announcement board. So I saw it said a part-time job for an artist at Madame Tussauds, and I came. My friend and I, Neil, we interviewed at different times, but both got our part-time jobs here a long time ago. And eventually, he is now leading, he's now the head artist in Asia. So he oversees all the figures in Asia, and I oversee all the figures in the US.
So are all the outfits real then? Real clothes?
Most of them, yes, are donated from the actual celebrities. If we can't get a donation, we will do something in the style of. We will work with their stylists and get as close a replica as we can. But for the most part, yeah, like these are his shoes, his jeans, his t-shirt, everything. He even gave us spares.
Okay, so who are we with now?
We're with Rupaul.
What do you like best about your job?
Gosh, there's so many things I love about my job. You know, I went to school for fine art, and I am a figurative artist who deals in realism. So for me, this job could not be more tailor-made for someone like me. You know, I strive every day to keep them looking as realistic as possible. And that's what I do with my artwork anyway, so it's a perfect match. And I have met so many amazing artists over the years, you know, just working within this company that have taught me so much. And I value very much the relationships that I've created in this company.
Okay, let's go to the next
All
figure
right.
and the next question. But first, let's work the
Yes,
runway.
that's it.
So who are we with now?
Well, this is Miley Cyrus on her wrecking ball. And there's another one here that you can sit on later.
Okay, so this question kind of fits. Has there ever been a figure that's been ruined or ended up not working out? And it's funny because she has a wrecking ball.
She has a wrecking ball. You know, we work very closely with the celebrities throughout the whole figure making process to ensure that they are 100% happy with their figure. And you know, once they're happy, then we put them out on the red carpet and we launch their figure. But because of the interactive nature of our business, some things happen, you know, people accidentally will scratch a figure or something, you know, and it's totally understandable that happens all the time. So that's when it's people like me, the artists on each site, we come in and we bring them back to life and, you know, fix every flaw just so that they're absolutely perfect again.
Okay, another question I have is how do you put the hair in there? And because earlier with Tiffany House, you say it was real hair. How do you get it to be real hair? How do you get the real hair?
Well, our hair are all ethically sourced. We buy them from ethical companies. And the way we put the hair into the wax figure is we insert each hair one by one. And it takes like about 6 weeks to do a full head of hair. So every hair, like the eyebrows, the beard, the scalp, everything you see was all individually inserted.
Okay, this is the last question before bonus. Who do we have here?
This is Madame Tussauds herself. Her figure was made from her death mask, so this is how she actually looked and how small she actually was.
Okay, there are a lot of cool women leaders featured here at Madame Tussauds. Can you tell me about some of your favorites?
Well, Madame Tussauds herself has her story. You know, she created this company over 250 years ago, and it's still going strong today around the world. The way she creates her sculpts is still the way we do it today. The way she does her waxwork is still the way we do it today. As far as other famous female leaders, we have Kamala Harris. Her figure looks amazing. You know, first female vice president, first Asian female vice president. We have Juliette Gordon-Low. She was the founder of Girl Scouts. I love that we have Helen Keller. She lost her sight and her hearing at 19 months, but she went on to become an author, a lecturer. She was a disabilities rights activist. So we have some amazing people. Rosa Parks. We have a couple Rosa Parks. She's a very influential, very impactful figure in the civil rights movement.
Now it's time for your bonus questions. So do you ever get to meet the famous people whose figures are being made, and do you have a favorite?
I do. I get to meet them. I get to spend hours with them measuring them, and I also get to put dots on their faces, and we take this metal art tool called calipers, and I measure their faces, and I do circumference and their height, all of that. Yeah, I get their skin tone, their hair color, their eye color, all that.
And also, which one is this one?
This one's Mike Tyson.
Is he your favorite?
He's one of my favorites. I think he's an amazing looking figure. He's very lifelike. But I've had so many over the years. Oh my gosh, Taylor Swift. It's an amazing figure. I love the Steve Aoki figure. Some of the fun sittings I've had have been Jennifer Hudson. She was fun. She would break into song during her sitting while we were measuring her, so she was a lot of fun. Barbara Palvin is a Victoria's Secret's model that we did a figure for Budapest. She was so charming, so down to earth, such a lovely woman. Jacob Elordi, very handsome and tall. He was very nice. Yeah, Bad Bunny. I've had some amazing encounters with these like awesome celebrities.
Time for the last question. And I don't think it's hard to guess who this one is.
No, probably not.
No. What advice do you have for me?
It sounds very cliche, but I'm gonna say that you should follow your heart. So, you know, art has always been something that I've loved all my life. And I think there have been a lot of detractors in the past in my life, you know, that are just like for goodwill. Like they worried, you know, that I would become an artist. How do you make a living as an artist? But as you can see, like I've found the perfect job for me. I get to work on these wax figures, you know, these amazing wax figures. And, you know, when I was a little kid, your age, I don't know if they have it now, but they used to have these Barbie doll heads. That was like it was a bust. Yes, it was a bust.
I have one of those.
Well, for one reason or another, I never got to have one as a kid. And I always wanted one to be able to do their makeup and play with their hair. And what do you know? As an adult, I get my pick of the most high-end figures to work on, right? And it's like a dream come true. I get to play with their hair and I get to work on their makeup, which is oil paint. So I get to combine what I love, you know, being an artist, and also something I used to want to do as a kid, and play with wax figures, or play with figures that are now wax figures.
Yeah. Thank you so much for talking with me today.
Oh, it was my pleasure. Thank you so much for visiting.
Make sure you check out Madame Tussauds in Las Vegas, California. What was the other place?
So we have Las Vegas, San Francisco, Hollywood, New York, Nashville, Orlando.
I hope we can get myself saved. The Hulk's grabbing me! Thanks so much for watching. Remember, new 7 questions and interviews are posted every Thursday. Be sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Love you guys. Bye!
Idaho Falls Pediatrics, proudly supporting kids in our community, and 7 questions with Emmy.